good afternoon, audience. This is the Hotness and Sweetly, and we're back. We've been eating so much food, right, Sweetly?
You know it.
But we've been doing a little better. We haven't, been like trying to eat up the whole state of North Carolina, but we've been dibbing and dabbing. And we just appreciate you guys taking the time to listen in today. I'm the Hotness, and I'm joined by my co-host Sweetly. And for those of you who may not know, we're foodies, and we've been eating for years, and that makes us professional foodies, right, Sweetly?
Professional.
So we know how to eat. But on our show, we like to highlight restaurants, caterers, food trucks, culinary artists, chefs, sous chefs, anything associated with food. Sweetly and I, we are in the mix. And today, who do we have with us, Sweetly?
We have, Stephanie, but her foodie name is Miss Renee and the 2 J's.
Not the 2 J's.
The 2 J's. And guess what she cooks? Praline.
Yes.
Cookies and what else? Nuts and fudge and, well, guess what? We're going to find out.
Yeah, we're going to find out. Because Miss Stephanie, she said that she was a pralinaire is what she did. And I was just like, what in the world?
Yeah.
What is that? So, Miss Stephanie, welcome so much. Thank you for being here. And please share with the audience about what you do and what a pralinaire does.
Well, first and foremost, thank you, ladies, for having me on your show. I can tell we're going to have a lot of fun.
Yes.
As I mentioned, I am a pralinaire. I am a proud native of Louisiana, Alexandria, Louisiana, not to be mistaken with New Orleans. But in Louisiana, there is a strong tradition of making pecan candy or pecan pralines. You say pralines, I say pralines. It's all the same thing because they taste so good. It is a mixture of butter, sugar, pecans, and everything nice. So just close your eyes and imagine that.
I did already.
I taste it.
We need taste of vision, taste of radio. It's a family tradition, as I said. For many, many years post-slavery, African American women used to be on the corners in New Orleans selling candy, and it is considered one of the first forms of entrepreneurship for black women in Louisiana post-slavery. They were able to make a lot of money, or a fair amount of money, as opposed to working domestic. So it has a very strong legacy, and it's not uncommon to see several people in any neighborhood that sell a variety of pecan candy. It's just one of the things that we really enjoy. It came from France, and we converted it and gave it its own Louisiana spin. So I took the family recipe, and my sons convinced me, they're the 2 J's, that perhaps we should go into the business. My sons are Joshua and LJ, so they're a very vital part of the work, and because it is a family legacy and history, they helped me with the business. I started with a few online orders, opened a PayPal account, and I guess you could say the rest is history. I went to local stores such as NoFo, the Butcher's Market in Raleigh, the Butcher's Market in Cary, Sweet Tea and Cornbread in Crabtree Mall, and offered them my products, and they started selling them as well. So we've been really moving forward. Again, we're a one-woman, two-man operation, but mostly a one-woman operation.
Right.
So I took my mom's recipe, who took her grandmother's recipe. It's gone down many generations, and I tweaked it till I got it to where I wanted it. And then from there, I added additional flavors. I can do a buttermilk praline, I do a coconut rum praline, and I do a bourbon praline, which is my personal favorite.
It's my favorite too. I haven't tasted it, but I do.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere, so
Somewhere in the world.
so we could always do some bourbon. Then I have another product, which is a spin on a Cheeto, kind of a caramelized Cheeto, called Praline Crunch, which has actually become my biggest seller, and it's very addictive. And you get that in the mall at Sweet Tea and Cornbread.
So is that more of a savory than sweet?
It's a mix.
Still sweet?
Okay,
It's still like
sweet.
a sweet and salty type
yes,
of thing?
absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Like Cheetos?
Yes.
She said Cheetos.
Okay, I like Cheetos.
So trust and believe. That's y'all get.
Oh, okay, audience.
There's a hookup coming soon.
Yes! We love hookups,
yes.
Miss Stephanie. I mean, you don't have to bring the whole kitchen, but I won't be offended if you do.
I'm gonna break you off though.
Thank you so much. We
Yes.
appreciate
My
it.
coworkers call it Crunchy Crack, and my sons were like, I don't know if we want to use that name, but it's really addictive, and I enjoy making it, and I enjoy seeing people's response to it.
So when you break us off a little something, do I have to share with Sweetly?
She's gonna
I'm
bring
gonna
me
break.
my own.
I'm gonna break
I don't
each
want
person
yours.
off.
Can I eat Sweetlies? Can I take?
No, you can't.
See, this is how you become a professional foodie, is by eating people's stuff. That's how you do that.
True. And
Yes.
the hotness is good at that.
Yes. You have to do like my mom used to do, hide her Snicker bar in the freezer, like thinking nobody would find it, but I did.
Yeah.
So how long have you been in the business?
I've been in the business since 2017. I have a full-time job by day, so I do this in the afternoons when I get home from work. So I've been trying to be very conscious about not getting overwhelmed.
Exactly.
Also, my daytime job is a healthcare provider, so I knew very little about business beyond making the product. So I've had to learn about marketing, and I'm still learning about those things, labels, how to put my product out there, packaging. I'm an in-home processor, so I had to get my kitchen certified by the state of North Carolina. So there's been a whole lot of steps. It's been wonderful. It's been a great learning experience, and it still is something that gives me joy and helps me to unwind after a hard day of work. So I love Miss Renee and the 2Js. I love the logo, and I love when people go into the mall and they tell me some people weren't here asking for your products, or you're out and we need to restock. It's a wonderful feeling, and I'm hoping to continue with it and see where it goes and grows to.
Okay. Well, where do you see yourself about 5 years from now?
I really would like to see myself in more of the local stores. I'd also like to see myself doing some business to business work, which means that when people buy a car at the dealership, that my product is one of the gifts that they receive.
Yeah, part of the gift basket.
Things like that. That's also probably a little bit more lucrative as opposed to some of the stores, because you do have to split your profit, which is fair, but yeah, it's...
Well, we got to get your product in the Lexus dealership, because I heard they give out like these wonderful gift baskets to their customers. So we're just going to touch and agree that they're going to have Renee and the 2Js giving those out to, their customers, because, I think that will make their customers very happy. Hear that, Lexus?
Buy a Lex and get some prolongs.
Oh!
Did I say that right?
I don't think
It was close. Close but no cigar. Close but no cigar.
Miss Stephanie, show her how to say it.
Pralines.
Buy a Lex and get some pralines.
There you go. There you go. And once you get some pralines, you become like TJ Maxx has Maxinistas. You become a pralinista.
A pralinista.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I want to be a pralinista.
Yeah. It sounds like something that we can do.
Yeah.
So how long does it take you to bake your pralines?
Well, I don't necessarily bake them. It's a tedious process. You're standing at the stove. A batch will yield me roughly 20 candies, and that takes about 30 minutes, 30 from beginning to end. 30, but of course, it's not something you can step away from. You're at the stove continually stirring and getting it just right. So it is pretty time intensive, and of course people have recipes, and that's fine, and many people can do it, but it's just something about the feel of it. When it's right. And so I could tell you that, but you won't quite know the feel like I do or my mom.
We don't want to
does.
know. We just want to eat it, because you did tell us that you tweaked the recipes from your grandmother and on. So we're good with that. So what's the largest batch you've ever had to make?
Well, that's an interesting question. The largest batch I've had to make was probably about 400. But you can't double the batch. You have to make each batch that size, because you got to get it out of the pot before it hardens. So it's really just about getting your mind that I'm going to do this batch and kind of get that one started, and no sooner than I'm pouring that one out, I'm on another one. But it's not something you can double up on, because
the quality would change.
Yeah, and you can't get it out of the pan and fast enough.
Okay.
So. Now, do the two sons know how to do this though?
The oldest does.
Okay.
The oldest does.
How old are your sons?
28 and 21.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, 21. He probably don't have no patience yet.
Nah.
You need to get that secret though. You got to get
He's
it.
the website person. He did our website, and he likes to keep his eye on making sure products is moving out and everything like that, and also supplies, and he makes sure the bags are labeled.
Right.
So they each kind of have a role, but certainly to have one that has an interest in the recipe. I don't have daughters, so ideally for it to continue to be a multi-family recipe, which is my mother's maiden name, someone would need to learn how to do it. So
Right.
Exactly. And looking at the candy, it should be pleasing to the eye. So I'm pretty sure he's like, okay, Mom, make sure this looks like this, and before I
Absolutely.
take the picture of it and then get
Absolutely.
it out there on the website.
Quality control,
Yeah,
yeah.
so that's great that you
And I
have
hope that
both
they're
sides.
learning, something, and this will drive them to want to have their own business, not necessarily this, but they do tell me they're proud of me because I had a goal and I
Right.
started something, and to see it come into
Sticking with
fruition, they like that. So that makes me feel good.
And what would you tell anybody that's getting ready to go into the entrepreneur world?
Well, I would tell them that it is indeed a lot of work. It's not all glamorous. Sometimes people think, oh, you have your own business, is all fun and games, but it's not. It's really about being focused. As I said, in my case, I'm the cook, I'm the person who's checking out the graphics, I'm trying to do some social media posting, I'm trying to also go to different places and give samples. So it is all consuming. So I recognize that, and hopefully when I retire, that I'll be able to pour more into it. But I am a woman operation,
Right
so.
now.
It sounds like a lot of hard work. And how did you go about you said you got your kitchen certified through like the city of Raleigh?
state,
Through
yes.
the state. So how did you go about that process?
I started looking up what it would take to start a candy business and in-home processing business. And I would also like to give a plug for small business centers, because they give you a lot of feedback and guidance.
Awesome.
I did Launch Raleigh, which is a cohort of entrepreneur training that's here in Raleigh. There's several classes in the area, and I just was always digging, asking questions, and I always met wonderful people who would guide me along the way. And my in-home processor actually lives way past Pittsburgh, and she came and kind of gave me a lot of tips as well. But they kind of give you every step that you need to do along the way to know what you need for that process. No pets allowed, which I don't have pets.
Okay.
But we want to know that someone does not have pets in their
Absolutely.
kitchen if they're fixing things. But so I told her, I was like, oh, that's a no-brainer. You don't even have to worry about that. But the kitchen, the refrigerator temperature, lighting, different things like that are all part of the process. So,
wow.
so it's not
Lighting.
a restaurant,
Yeah.
but it still has standards that need to be followed, because you're preparing products that people are going to consume. I pray and I ask God for guidance and discernment and knowledge to know, and I pray for every batch. I say, God bless this batch so that it comes out right.
Nourishment to their bodies.
Yes.
That's
And what about possible international sales? Do you have any international sales?
I don't have international, but I have across the United States, as far as California, Las Vegas, New
Okay.
York, Chicago, Phoenix, Arizona, and a lot of that comes from my personal Facebook page, which I share my website and things like that, and word of mouth, and Houston, Texas. And honestly, it's people who have had pralines before, or some people just say plain old pecan candy, and then other people are kind of trying to discover it. So I've got two kind of types of consumer. But yeah, all over.
All over. That is
Yeah.
awesome. Way to go, Stephanie Renee.
Hey.
And now you're known on the podcast,
Right.
Because we're going to put it out there. We are so excited about this wonderful endeavor that God has blessed you with, and the talent. And we're just excited because I never thought that I would be interviewing a person that made praline candy. And I said praline.
And
You
it's
say-
fine.
Okay.
It's absolutely fine. We're family now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Lots of people say it both ways, and you have to understand. Praline is probably more South Carolina, because they also have their form of praline.
Right.
Texas has a praline that's more of a chewy type.
Okay.
And then Louisiana has just our own, we have our own thing for everything. Our food is just.
It is.
It is slamming. My mom, she's from Louisiana, so
Where's she from?
New Orleans.
Okay.
Okay, it took me a minute.
Yes. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
And my daughter gave me a Mother's Day gift. She took me on a 7-day trip to New Orleans, and we had a ball. I'm telling you, the food there, the fun, the atmosphere.
It's awesome.
But without giving away your secret, just can you tell us maybe a little different, the difference between Raleigh praline or Southern praline and New Orleans praline?
Okay, so I would say mine is New Orleans may be a little bit coarser, so a little bit thicker.
Okay.
Mine essentially melts in your mouth.
Like butter, baby.
There's and there's some sure enough butter in there. Yes.
I can't wait to taste it.
I know.
It was a lot sweeter. I mean, and I know candy is supposed to be sweet, but when I would do vending shows and different events, some people would say, "Oh my God, it's so sweet," you know.
Okay.
And so I kind of started saying, "How can I take some of this sugar back?" So I cut the sugar. I'm right now working on one that will have a little sea salt, sprinkled sea salt on top.
Yeah.
Now that's what I like.
Yeah.
That's how I get down with
chocolate.
Yeah.
That's what I'm used to. So I don't know. Can you make a sea salt and dark chocolate praline?
Put it on the list. We'll see what we can do. Put it on the list.
Dark chocolate for the sweetly.
Yeah.
Go ahead, sweetly.
I'm always, trying to figure out. I've done something with the little amaretto.
Okay.
So I'm always like, even when I'm in chill mode, thinking like, what could I do?
Entrepreneurs don't have chill modes.
Right.
We need to though.
Yeah.
Well, self-care. We got to make sure we still do self-care. Like I said, I still work. I have a team of nurses that I work with that I try to take really good care of.
Oh, good.
I'm in my sorority, my church family. So I've got a lot of other things as well. So learning to balance all those things is very important, and I think even more so for me. This summer I didn't do as much candy making as I will with the fall and holidays coming up. And I was actually thankful. I thought, God, I need this time to just kick back and not just be on all the time.
Just go.
You want to have a life.
Yeah.
And you want to enjoy it.
Yeah.
I mean, the work is there, and the entrepreneurship is, dedication, and you are dedicated. But you don't want to wear yourself out where you just don't have any fun in what you're doing, even though what you're doing is your passion and it is fun. So,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Lots of fun. So please share with the audience how they can order some of your delicious pralines.
Very good.
There you go.
Your website.
You can hit us up on our website, which is www.missrenees2js.com. I hope that was
the number 2.
That's the number 2, the letter JS.com. And you can also find us at the Butcher's Market in Raleigh, which is at the corner of Millbrook and Falls of Noose, and Sweet Tea and Cornbread in Crabtree Mall on the 2nd level. If you are familiar with Mama Dip and her restaurant in Chapel Hill, Sweet Tea and Cornbread is the brainchild of her granddaughter Tanya. And there are all kind of North Carolina products in the store. My product, chocolates, Tanya's cookies, barbecue sauce, Dirty Mary mix, Bloody Mary mix, all kinds of things. It's an awesome store that she has developed. And Tanya also has a store at the North Carolina Museum of History.
Okay. And you mentioned you had a Facebook page. Is that a place?
I do have a Facebook page, Miss Renee 2Js, and that's the number 2. I am on the Twitters, as my church member says. The Twitters and Instagram, but I have to be honest, I'm looking for a wonderful intern or someone to manage that for me, because I think my plate is full. But I laugh and I say the Twitters, like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
So you're looking for a marketing person to help you on Instagram, Twitter. Okay, audience.
All right. Y'all heard that.
They can contact you on Facebook, right? Absolutely. If they're interested in being your intern, your marketing intern. So come on, people, students, whoever.
Come through if you've got some ideas and some energy and don't need a lot of money.
You get paid with praline.
Yes, that's why.
I'll do it.
Yes. And I cook other things too, but
All right.
But so I want to be more visible on those platforms, but it just, it's very, you have to be intentional about that. So that's my next goal.
Yeah, understood.
Sounds great. So again, Stephanie Renee, we so appreciate you taking the time to talk to the Hotness and Sweetly. And this has been
The Hotness
and Sweetly, checking out what Mrs. Renee and the 2J's, the Praline Queen, is all about.
Hey now.
All right.
Hey girl, that's a nice t-shirt you're wearing. Where did you get it?
I got it from TeamJesusClothing.com.
Really? I like the messaging and the colors. They're so vibrant.
Yes, TeamJesusClothing.com has a lot of t-shirts and hoodies with encouraging messages. They have styles for both men and women.
Wow, thanks for letting me know. I'm going to TeamJesusClothing.com to place my order now.
Yes, definitely go to TeamJesusClothing.com and be sure to check out my favorite shirt designs, Team Jesus and Won't He Do It?
I can't wait. TeamJesusClothing.com, here I come.